Oh, look!
Oh. You say a hi, Ruby.
All right, bring us in, George.
Welcome to May the Zoo Be With You, America's sleepiest podcast. We're all dying still.
It's the morning. It's
the morning. I'm exhausted. Let's party, folks. I am going for the man who almost hit 1 million views, almost had 6,000 viewers, and loves to celebrate his failures. Louis DeGeorge.
I deserve all that.
What? No, I'm proud of you. You almost succeeded. I'm happy for you. I don't get what's like. What do you mean?
I bet you by the time the podcast airs, we will have done it.
Don't care. You celebrated it beforehand.
What if we hit 1 million views? If you are the 1 millionth view on my channel, you win a booster box supplied by George of his choice.
Oh.
You have to provide evidence.
Opulent Kills Unlimited. It hasn't been a fast seller. Maybe one day.
Who else?
And I'm also
flying
by the Metazoo merchant himself, the man who will sell you more Cryptid Nation 2nd edition than he thought was printed. The Metazoo merchant himself, Mitchell Murray.
Beautiful.
Hello, everybody. And I'm joined by Ruby, the newest member of the merchant.
Wait, that's my dog's name. Are you serious?
Yeah, I called her Ruby. I didn't know that was your dog's name.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You can't call your dog Ruby. I have the dog named Ruby.
Sorry.
What?
It wasn't my choice. My wife and my daughter picked out the name. You're acting like I knew.
Death Player from the kitchen. I want you to know that.
Why? Why?
Dog after my dog? What do you mean, why?
I did not name it after your dog. I named it after a literary character, but it's fine.
New intro. The most unoriginal man in America. Mitchell Murray.
I love that he said that he didn't know your dog's name is Ruby, and we've mentioned your dog's name probably 90% of the episodes on the podcast.
What, you can't name your dog after my dog?
This is going to be the best.
I did not name it after your dog. I just named my dog Ruby, and it so happens to be the name of your dog.
What's the literary character?
I'm going to name my new dog Mick.
I don't know. That actually, I would be honored.
You could not.
That you would name. You're naming one of your children.
Every iteration.
Oh,
wow.
This is great.
That's actually how real children work too, George.
Yeah, I don't have that.
Oh, that was great.
I'm also. You're acting like I did a travesty. It was ignorance, George. Okay. I mean, I don't have anything else to tell you. I will tell you, I'm drinking a fine cup of coffee this morning. How about you, George?
Yeah, that's fine. Single origin. I don't know. God.
Single origin Keurig.
All it is. No, I don't have Keurig. I drink way too much coffee for Keurig. I would fill up my own landfill.
And it's extremely expensive when you look at the per cup basis.
I like that. That does not matter to me. What matters to me is I need pots of coffee, not cups of coffee.
I forgot I'm not a 1%er. I forget.
Yeah,
I don't think about you don't think about those things. That's actually a really funny comment.
Let's tell the people what we're doing today. We're going to talk about all the TCGs we normally talk about.
Why did we do the preview like they care?
Because, George, this is how you do a podcast, okay? This is what you do.
It is true.
Right, I'm going to help you out. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to discuss some TCGs. We'll probably go in Fab. We'll probably go some Magic. Not a lot of Magic news this week because Magic kind of sucks. We're going to probably discuss Pokemon, probably some Logan Paul because Louis on the podcast. You guys should all kickstart Genesis Metazoo Minute. Welcome to Metazoo Be With You.
Okay, I would also like to just let people know we are available on Spotify because we've never told anybody that.
Have we not? You can now rate podcast on Spotify, and I am the only person who has rated it.
I don't want to know our rating.
Well, no, it's a 5 stars because I'm the only one that rated it.
Which is the only one to rate it, and it's got a 3-star rating.
Joke's on you. It's a 1 star.
Yeah.
And
Anyway,
I left a review comment that says, "Don't listen to these chumps.
Yeah.
We don't know
Also,
anything."
I don't know why we're not available on iTunes. It's still not approved. It's not my fault. I've done my best.
Apple.
Yeah.
They were like,
Steve Jobs
like, who are
goes
these-
Louis.
it's
I'm sure what happened is LSS says, "Don't approve these guys." They're,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm just gonna stop there.
All right.
That's true.
All right, let's start out by talking Fab. We're going to talk about Cold Foil Hero and Commoner. So Valida came out, the Cold Foil Valida. Did you guys see it?
No. You're so bad at content. They
Oh
did
my
not.
gosh.
They did not come out with Cold Foil. They improved the Cold Foil heroes dramatically. The border is no longer exclusively Cold Foil. The hero and the armor is now also Cold Foil. Looks much better.
It's gonna be awesome.
I was going to get into
It's
that.
cool to see them
Public
iterating
flavor.
on it. Well, he does have a point. You should have said that they came out with a new Cold Foil hero.
Yeah.
And a new, anyways.
So I kind of made a complaint with with Tails that we kind of I felt. Oh my gosh, that the Cold Foils they were just a little less special to me. They were,
really?
Yeah, I don't know. Like I just feel like I like the Cold Foils like that have like the really like it's almost like an embossed feel to it, and I feel like that's what they're doing on the Valda. That like I like that direction back to those Cold Foils. That is like the equipment is what's special about it, and I have I think a lot of people agree, but I do not like the Cold Foils that are in the in deck ones that are just like a spell. Like I like the idea that Cold Foils are
equipment oriented.
Right.
Yeah, it's shiny.
Yeah.
Now hear me out. I think embossed is the wrong term because embossed means it's like impressed into it. But you're saying it's spot foiled on a very specific area.
Debossed. The opposite of it.
Debossed.
Love it.
You like that it's raised?
Yeah, like that has texture. I don't know about you guys, but when I get a Cold Foil, I'm just like, I just want to feel it. Like I just like press my.
Well, we've seen how you assault your Cold Foils into a sleeve, so I mean that makes sense. You are a very tactile person based on how I've watched you handle your cards.
My love language is touch, so I love the Cold Foils. So I have to just
bless your wife.
Part of a podcast you've ever done, and that's
I'm genuinely enjoying this. I'll be candid.
I do not enjoy hearing about Louis' love languages. I assure you.
I'm going out to meet George in a couple of weeks, and I'm gonna give him a big hug. This is the first thing I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I was saying, right at peak Omicron, he's gonna be like, my love language is touch, George, and we are gonna become best friends.
So I think, listen, I think that I'm all about Cold Foil everything. Like if I get a Cold Foil card, I want it to be basically part metal. And I'm all about this change to like Cold Foiling the armor, Cold Foil the features, Cold Foil the border, Cold Foil. I want the words Cold Foiled. I want Cold Foil everything when it's Cold Foiled.
Easy Watsy, who literally just does the entire card.
No, they do nothing with Cold Foil. That's how they do the rainbow foil.
No, they have
they have their foil etching, which they do the entire card. What I'm saying is what makes it Cold Foil is that it's tasteful, that it has select.
I am not tasteful. I am not tasteful.
I think we can all agree on that.
I want everything. George,
everything does not make it special. Okay, if we have everything, nothing is special. I will say though, what makes Cold you're the guy that. You're like the guy that has like all the metal credit cards in his wallet, and when a new metal credit card comes out, he wants another one because.
Get up to crypto.com. I'll give you my referral code will be in the comments below.
No, I think what makes Cold Foil specials are that they have a tasteful selection. That there is spot foiling on particular spot. Like, if you Cold Foil the whole card, it's just shiny.
Yeah, you're wrong. George, the comment section is going to roast you on this. Comment section, please roast George.
It's fine. I don't read the comment section anyway.
We saw the sample by Rudy and the different iterations they did, and it was clearly which one was better, and it was the one that was not all Cold Foil.
I also think Cold Foils should be special. Like they shouldn't just Cold Foil everything because Cold Foil is
no, Cold Foil the whole card, not like do the nostalgic. God, every card is
never had a worse take than this.
That's not true. I've had Mono 1K.
That's true. This is the second worst take then. You heard it here first, guys. You heard it here first.
I like that they are highlighting the equipment, and I hope that they continue to do that.
Yeah, I agree.
I think what I loved about the like Crucible, and maybe that was just the set, right? Like Crucible focused so heavily on the equipment, and the foiling was, on the equipment.
That's why he likes it.
I love it. It's like that Diablo feel of like you're upgrading your armor, you're changing it out. It's like the armor is what's special, and like when you go cold foiling like a Pulse of Volthaven, I'm just like, why is it cold foil? It's not an armor. That's just my personal take. So I really like on Valda. I understand that you cold foil a hero because that's the thing. Like on Valda, they cold foiled the equipment. I really like that.
Great.
Speaking of cold foiling, transition, Commoner. Have you guys
it's
played?
still a format.
George, have you guys done any Commoner events?
We did it before my Welcome to Wraith draft.
Yeah. How did it go?
Good. People love Commoner.
My Discord server is.
There's only one problem with Commoner.
No, don't say it.
Okay.
Just we don't talk about Briar.
There's I'll listen. I am not Team Briar's OP in CC.
But in Commoner,
Ira is pretty good too.
Chain is really strong too, though.
Yeah,
Chain is really strong in Commoner.
Listen, I agree with Ira. I think Chain's fine.
I have not played Chain in Commoner.
I'll just say this: have you played the starter decks?
Yeah.
The Chain starter deck just demolishes the other three from Monarch. I remember playing it with my brother-in-law, and he's like, "Is that just like a standard, just commons and rares?" And I was like, "Yeah." He was like, "That's ridiculous. Like, it should not be that strong." But continue on.
The question is, do you allow Seeds of Agony to be played in Commoner? That can change your direction with change.
It's only banned on CC.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, there's no official Commoner game, so
exactly.
Not official.
We make our own rules.
Okay. Do you guys?
We could create the Commoner committee. Oh,
it's here. No, we did it. We're done. It's created. We
God,
officially
I'm so good at content.
The Commoner.
And what you should do, George, is pay us, and then we can call it the Compete Sport Commoner Committee.
No, I'm
get the CCC.
No, it's not the CCC, but I'm all right.
Yeah. All right, we'll just call it the CC. We'll call it the other CC.
We're doing a round robin at my store where if you play Commander, you play a game of CC, you play a game of Genesis, and you play a game of Metazoo.
Whoa.
And it's 4, 3, 2, 1 for the first, second, third, fourth, and whoever wins the most points out of those 4 formats gets a prize.
Are they the Compete Sport TCG
and Crimson Vow? No, just kidding. I would not do that to them. I would not give them Crimson Vow. I don't hate anybody enough. I don't hate anybody enough to give them Crimson Vow.
So,
but that's actually a really cool format. So it's like you were but you are the Compete Sport TCG shop winner. You got all the TCGs.
You won the store.
You're the Olympian.
It's a quadfecta. I coined that term on my video today already because trifecta is 3 things. It's 4 things. It's a quadfecta.
I've never heard that before, Louis. That's
is that already a thing?
Yeah, that's already definitely a thing.
I assume, but it's mine. I'll take it. It's me.
Good.
He's very original, George. He's as original as I am.
So here's my question to you guys, because I come from a place with Popper. I played a lot.
Don't name your next dog Ollie, by the way, Mitch. Right? That's I also have dibs on that one, in case you were wondering.
With Popper, the Magic community has gravitated towards completely foiling out Popper decks.
Oh, gross!
And if you look at the Popper staples and the way that it has affected the Magic the Gathering common foil market, do you guys think that we will see the same thing happen in
that happened at my store? Somebody had to have the full cold foil equipment hero, and I'm like, and it's funny because this. When I play, I literally want the cheapest deck I can make with my cards. I don't want foil. I don't want cold foil.
What's funny is you own all of them.
Oh yeah, I have the cold foil of everything I've had to buy in rainbow foil because I refuse to be that guy that's just bam, here's all my cold foils on my mat.
Yeah,
that's gross.
You're just not a showy person, huh?
Listen,
no,
which is really surprising. I actually would have expected the opposite based on how you carry this podcast.
That's true. That's true.
I
Damn,
think-
the word today.
I think that
There it is.
I think that effect on the market would be crazy for Flesh and Blood because of like how like I feel like
There's
the
there's a
foil
lot of
commons,
cold foil commons.
not cold foil. I'm saying just foil, like a foil sink below.
Oh,
you know how
that
hard
happens.
it is, Mitch.
Yeah, that's
were,
right.
Mitch, you're a single store. How hard is it to pull a? You were a single store back in the day. What are you lighting up right now? You just. What is happening? We're lighting matches on the podcast.
What is like? Did you just toot? Like, what's going on here?
How hard is it?
Can I just want to smell nice in here?
How hard is it to pull some of those foil comments?
Ridiculous. I actually kept a pile just because I was so curious of like how many I could pull. And I remember like opening 40 or 60 boxes and having like 10 of them.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous.
So like
and Louis kept saying, "Oh, it's just a collation issue. It's fine. They're not short printed." But I was like, "No, Louis. I've opened from all different sources. It's like it's super rare." I guess we'll find out. Maybe soon. Print run numbers. I didn't think about that. Sorry,
They're never going to release it. They're never going to release it. I've given up all hope.
I don't know.
Well, they didn't release it until like
Monarch.
right before Monarch. Was it? It was before Monarch.
Do you guys think the market will react to it?
No.
No, I don't think the market react, but it'll be helpful to know.
If it
It'd also be nice to know it's short printed. It'll be maybe a week. Maybe on sealed product, like it'll make the other like first edition boxes maybe feel more. And when I say other, I mean before Monarch ones maybe go up.
Yeah.
RIP. RIP.
All right. Let's transition and talk about Magic.
Magic. What do you want to talk about? The stupid new secret layer? Okay, there's a new secret layer. It is still print to demand, but you might get your product way later if you order it late. So if you want it, order it early, but don't really support WotC because they suck and their game sucks. Go to your LGS and buy Crimson Vow to help them because they can't sell it. Anything else y'all want to add? Are we ready to move on to Pokemon and Logan Paul?
Tell me how you really feel about MTG right now.
I wanted to ask George, how do you feel like the new Kamigawa set's going to be?
It's going to sell.
Do you think so?
Oh, it's going to sell like crazy.
I don't even play Magic, and I want to open it based purely on theme.
Really?
Alt art lands sell sets.
I have no idea even what's in it. I just thought it looked really cool, and I wanted to buy a couple boxes just to open it.
Art land sell sets. Like this set will sell very, very well.
Super.
I will say this: like as negative as I've been on Magic, on every format and every podcast and everything I've ever said anywhere publicly, they are going to have a great 2022.
Yeah, they're 2022. Man, I have to say, I love it when games give us a roadmap for the year. It makes me excited for the product, and I think it's a really healthy thing for a community, for content creators to have the dialogue of what's coming up next. A lot of games do that, and I love it. I think 2022 looks like it's going to be a really healthy year for Magic if they do it without they've got to get rid of this wallet fatigue somehow.
I don't like. There's not wallet fatigue, and that's what drives me crazy. Is
I disagree.
No, well, then you can be wrong, and that's fine. I mean,
Louis is having wallet fatigue, is what he's saying.
Louis too busy buying NFTs, and
I have not bought a single NFT since the Metazoo launch.
That's probably true, but how many NFTs did you buy at the Metazoo launch?
Let's move on from NFTs. Furballs were all.
Did you tell?
Move on.
Yeah, how your fishies doing?
People don't like NFT talk. We'll talk about NFTs once it's publicly acceptable to do so.
Well,
we should talk about coffee.
All the things you've been criticized about, the one that stuck to you is like the NFT shame. That is super fascinating.
It's
just I like it, but people hate me, so it's fine.
I love you.
That's true.
I was talking to my dog.
I really love you.
People were accusing me of scamming because of projects. I was just like, I think this is interesting. Anyway, let's move on. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, so I think that Magic is gonna have a really great year. Listen, Quintuple Masters coming out, also a real word, Louis, is coming out at the
Is it really called Quintuple Man?
No, it should be.
Yeah.
It's coming out at the end of the year. It's going to be roughly $20 trillion a box.
One of my biggest regrets is not keeping any Double Masters sealed. That box is crazy right now.
I don't have that regret, so I'll tell you.
Yeah. I actually thought about reaching out to you to see if you would trade me.
So you ready for this? You ready for this crazy timeline?
Yeah.
So when you're a store, they ask you your orders, and you always say some stupid number because you expect to get allocated. Right. So if they say like, how many VIP packs do you want for Double Masters 2 years ago?
10,000.
Yeah, I was like, give me 8,000.
Yeah.
And there we go.
I was close, actually.
Yeah, they thought nothing of it. They're like, okay, he wants 8,000. Like, we'll probably get him 2,000, 2,500.
We'll give him 25% of what he asked. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nobody else ordered. Like VIPs were like scary to people.
Yeah.
Not me, baby. Diamond hands.
I did the same thing, except for instead of ordering,
I got 7,500 of them. And I will never forget this. First of all, the bill is just like, wait, what's going on now? The second thing is you're just like, oh, Mark Rosewater, don't let me down now, baby. Come on, Mark. And they lied about what was in the pack.
Yes,
it was a disaster. I'm like, here's the trick. Here's why I have no problem like getting way more Magic than like I think I probably should. It always eventually sells.
Yeah.
Maybe it's not today,
eventually.
maybe it's not tomorrow, but within a year, you can sell every single box of Magic you ever have.
Yeah.
And
that's an interesting thought. That's hard though, because you just have to hold it for so long and hold that capital.
You gotta have capital. That's when I ever talk to new stores, they're like, what's the number one thing that made you successful? I'm like, starting off successful.
Having lots of money on the side so I can just throw more money at it and just wait till it gets better.
Like, Theros Beyond Death, couldn't give it away. Now it sells very well.
Yeah.
Like, the thing about Magic is like, you just gotta be patient.
Yeah. And that's, again, you said it for Pokemon too, and it's so true.
Pokemon too. And I think it'll be true for Metazoo. I think it will be true for Genesis.
I'm so excited for Genesis this year. It's going to be a fun year for them.
It's very funny. People are like, oh, how'd you get so lucky with J2 buying so much of it? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I supported.
I was the only one buying it.
Like, oh, geez, I know. I'll spec on a game that was in 150 stores. I mean, come on, idiots.
Yeah.
I mean, like, part of this is like, you gotta support games you believe in.
How's MH2 doing, by the way?
Connected. I mean, I don't want to, but like you're connected with two content creators that are doing Genesis content too, that like help the game grow.
The GOAT.
Yeah, like you're helping the game grow, and like that's an important factor. I think stores miss out on that. Like, I will tell you this: I have a new policy in my store, and I've had it since Flesh and Blood, because I made a mistake. I should have done what Team Covenant did. I will never carry a game if I don't talk to the designer and get their word they're going to help me out.
Interesting.
I will never carry a game again because I need too many boxes. My store is too big.
Yeah. I
will never carry a game again if I can't talk to the designer and he's going to tell me. I'm going to make sure that distributors don't do you dirty, and if they do, I'm going to have your back.
Yeah.
And like, listen, that means I don't carry some games.
Right.
And that's too bad.
Right.
But I'm never going to be in this position I'm in right now again. Ever. Yeah. I won't do it. It's not worth my time.
Yeah.
It's not worth my time, effort, or stress. I'm bald enough.
I mean, you could become more bald, but we'll leave it there.
Not really.
I don't know. It's pretty bad.
It's getting close.
I still see hair, George. I'm just saying. You could be like super. Is it hard to go?
Side.
It's just the tops, huh?
Tops go.
It's perfect though, because if you wear a hat, nobody even knows you're bald.
I could be like Louis.
That's the crazy thing.
Like a cool kid.
Yeah,
100%. Except we would just see white right here, but it's close.
They make hats that have hair here, so it looks like you have hair when you have a hat on.
Oh my god, I need that hat. I'm wearing that hat. I gotta buy that next.
Can you imagine? It has like all this hair coming out, like no hair on the sides.
Tomorrow, I have 2 shareholder meetings and a board meeting, and I really wish you had told me that before because I would have worn it to those meetings.
You're going to show up to the board with a backwards hat. Yeah. Okay.
They would expect that from me.
Yeah. I don't think that George.
That's good to know where expectations are.
Oh my God. Where's your tuxedo?
Anyway, I think the release section for Magic looks really good in 2022. I've said this a couple times, but the Quintuple Masters I'm excited for. More excited for the Unset.
They have a great line. I think this I'm calling it right now. This is the year Magic turns it around. By the end of this year, they will make me happy about Magic again. They're going to fix it. They're going to fix it.
They got to start by play testing, not by just releasing good products.
I just want to open a few boxes of each set just for kicks and giggles. It sounds like it'd be fun.
I'm super excited to see what happens with this reserve list dialogue, like to see if they push the envelope in 2022. I want them to. I just want to watch the world burn, and then it would be good.
Is there? I know you do. You've mentioned it every single podcast.
No reason I hate the reserve list.
I know. It's okay, George. You have a lot of things like that.
I would much rather have a first edition Charizard. I'd much rather have a Kickstarter Mothman. I already have one. I'd much rather have another Kickstarter Mothman.
Black Lotus.
I'll take
Black Lotus and first edition Charizard are both on my bucket list for this year. One of those two.
Give me 1 minute.
I will trade way too many things. He's gonna go get a Black Lotus. Is that what's happening?
I have no interest in the Black Lotus. I'll be honest. None.
Why? It's been. So I started
my spirit
before I had this YouTube channel. I had a Instagram account for it was called KitchenTableTCG, and I started I started a basic land to Black Lotus trade, and I got to
how'd that go?
I got to $380 in value, and then I just got bored.
So you're only $250,000 away.
No, that's a big gap. You understand how many trades it takes to go from a land to a $350 card?
That doesn't mean you were close. That just means you went a far distance. If I jump very high up, jumped very high up. It's a lot closer to the moon.
The gap is pretty. The beginning gap.
There was a full marathon.
Yeah.
Oh,
there was a full marathon, and it's actually more of a triathlon that he needed to run. He needed to run a triathlon, and he ran a 5K. How far he got along that.
I wanted the beat up $5,000 Lotus, the one that's been run through a car wash,
alpha or bust.
Yeah. Okay.
Now let's talk. Do you have the same expectations for the Charizard that you're looking for now?
No, I want at least a 6 or 7 graded Charizard. I would not buy a raw Charizard. I don't trust myself to know Pokemon
Fugazi. Yeah.
I would never buy a raw. I don't know enough. Magic, I know enough to know the real cards. Speaking of Pokemon fakes, this is a great transition to Logan Paul
getting bamboozled.
Oh no! Is that what happened with that case?
The evidence is pretty.
It was very funny. So when somebody told me this, when somebody was like, "Hey, I think Logan Paul bought a fake one," I flat out told them they were wrong. I was like, because the company that authenticated the case is pretty well respected in sports.
Yeah,
they have done a lot of the 1986 boxes. They have which are very expensive boxes, more expensive than this case probably. The cases are. They have done a lot of very, 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 very high end sports authentication for boxes and cases. So I was like, no, they would not mess this up. Then the PokeBeach article comes out. I'm like, oh my god, the dude bought a fake case. Yeah.
So what happened? So what happens when they
the barcode is wrong, the name of the box is wrong, here's the one that gets me. The box is about as old as Louis is. The case is about as old as Louis is.
Yeah.
So interesting.
About 6 months
It's
old.
A really old fake.
And that'd be easy.
It's a young fake.
That'd be hard. Yeah. So the label on the box looks pristine.
It's not even yellowy.
In Pokemon's box, it's very faded.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Faded.
I think I don't think the label looks pristine. It looks like it looks new. It's different damage. It's got it looks like it was in an attic. It looks like it was worn. But the key that the PokeBeach article said is that because they used what are those label printers that are
they use thermal printers.
Thermal, yeah, that's what
yeah.
That because
they fade over time.
Well, they don't just fade, but they turn brown. and the text on the one, and then there was like a bunch of different stories. Like he was like, oh, I got it in my attic. It was in my attic. Oh, I got it for my 13th birthday. Oh,
case, I will be stunned if it turns out that case is not.
He
fake.
should open it. He should look like he should do a live stream and open it. That's what he should do. The views, I mean, he'd get a ton of views.
Louis, he paid $3.5 million.
Look, I don't feel bad.
So how many boxes are in there?
I do. Logan Paul, come on my podcast. We can talk about Metazoo. Continue.
No, that's
how many boxes are in there?
6
in a case. All right, so there's 6 boxes. How many packs are in the base set?
24
per booster. Is it 24 or 36 or 30?
36. It's a
36.
All right. Yeah. All right. So I don't know the math, but there's a lot of packs in there. How much would he have to charge per pack? The reason I'm saying is he could potentially make money if he could authenticate that these were like the fake boxes from Logan Paul. So is there any like guarantee from that?
No.
Is there any guarantee from the authenticator?
Mitch, if those aren't
real, they're worth like it might be.
I know they're worth nothing.
Like it might be like that case is probably worth $50,000.
The question is, what's even in it? Like, did they X-ray it?
Base that. I suspect it's base. Don't you or no?
You think they X-rayed it?
No, like clearly not.
Yeah, I mean,
they would have had to.
The article was like it could just be paper equal to the weight.
That's insane. So here's the other thing too. What happens to that authentication company? And like for that large of a transaction, also if it is a fake, you made the fake. Imagine how good it felt. I know this is kind of a dick move, but imagine how good it felt like when the authentication service was like, it's good, it's real. I would have been like,
yeah.
I mean, it's total jerk move, but like also kudos to the guy that managed to get through that system. It's still a dick move.
Not that they need it, but shout out to Pokebeach too, because
for immediately saying this is a fake.
Well, and like his attitude on the article was really good. He was like, "Look, Logan Paul, if you want to be involved in the community, like you could have reached out to us. We could have authenticated this better than the sports investor thing."
Oh,
well, hold on. Like, listen, they made George, do not defend the sports grading company that botched this.
I will tell you this: like the reason I was so dismissive at first is because they have a really good reputation,
right? But they obviously didn't do the research.
I agree, but like I would expect them to have done it, and I'm sure.
So is this like? This is the equivalent what I'm hearing, George.
Victim blaming. Louis here with the victim blaming.
It's our generation. Just let it happen. It's how it happens. So this would be like if BGS verified a Lotus, essentially, a black Lotus that was a fake.
HGA, which is one of the new companies, just like all these other new companies do. I'll leave that alone. They're one of the new companies. I'll leave alone what I think of them. They seem to have probably authenticated a very fake Wayne Gretzky rookie card, and I'll give them credit for this. They said, like, listen, it looks like we might have goofed. If it sells, we will pay the price that it sells for.
That's what I'm asking. But that company can't cover $3 million for the $1 million.
I wouldn't.
You don't have a policy to cover that.
Well, they also only trade boxes. They only authenticate boxes. I think they don't do cards. So like,
I wonder if those companies have any insurance policies. Like,
I'm sure
that's actually what I was about to ask. Do they have this? If they screw up, do they have a fallback policy to cover their losses, or like to cover the guarantee?
We have no clue. Bye, George. Well, everyone's leaving out of me. I guess I'll just have to carry us the whole time.
You're used to it, right?
Yeah, I'm used to it. No, I think like the idea of authenticating a case that's that old, like Gary King Pokemon actually let somebody else a couple years ago, I think, open up like half the case. So he had an original, and like somebody even mentioned it's the only sealed case or whatever, but he opened up the flap so that they could authenticate what it was. And so like there was evidence out here that things were fake. I don't understand how it got through the woodwork.
Yeah.
And I think like that's the type of thing.
I mean,
Like,
it
I
sucks
don't
for
know why
him.
George is like, I'm victim shaming. Like Logan Paul's a victim. The company is the one that like should have done their job. That's my point. I hate that. Like, come on.
I
know.
also like you have to know whenever that box comes in, like the number of fakes that are out there. You have to go through all those things. Like I'm genuinely curious what that process looked like for them, the outcome where they said, okay, we think this is real. So it'll be interesting to see the outcome of it. Have we seen are there any like news articles on like what's happening next?
I haven't seen anything. The Poke Beach one was interesting. Man, he was like, I've been around since the beginning. You could have like reached out to us. Like we could have helped you authenticate it. I don't know.
Sure.
All right, George, give us your spiel.
No, I mean, like, it's just like, my understanding, this is not the world I live in, so I could be dead wrong, first time for everything, is that...
I mean, you said you were already wrong about Monarch, but we don't have to go into that. Go ahead.
I blame two people for that. They have a very good reputation in sports, and I wouldn't know why you wouldn't trust them until now, frankly.
Because they are a sports card company, George.
Well, they authenticate cases. Like how many companies authenticate boxes and cases? Like they're the
how many people? I hear you, but like, again, there's specialties and sports cards. I don't think you go to Poke Beach apparently.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that the company should the authentication.
They have some responsibility.
Apparently, Poke Beach, it was pretty easy for him to spot that it was fake. Like I just don't understand. I don't know. I don't look at my PSA card and go from my PSA Metazoo card and go like, oh, I can't trust it because they mainly do sports. Is that true?
Grade cards. This company,
we trust PSA because they mainly do Pokemon. Also, Metazoo's brand new. Pokemon's been around. How old theoretically should that case be?
How many authenticated cases do you know of? I can think of this one, and that's it.
Yeah, I don't
know of any. I think that's the point, though.
Yeah.
As a company, you have to know your threshold of knowledge and say, "Hey, there's not a lot of
clearly the authenticating company should have not taken this job."
Yes,
I agree with that 100%.
Yes.
But if you're Logan Paul, I wouldn't have any reason to doubt that they did their job.
No, it's not Logan Paul.
It's not Logan Paul's fault. What we're saying is this company has a responsibility to say, I mean, yes, you're right.
Yes,
Louis, he spent $3 million. He could have looked into it probably. Yes, that's all we're saying. Or if they did take the job, they need to say, hey.
Note to self. Just a note to self. The next time I spend $3.5 million on a first edition case, I'm going to get it authenticated by 2 different people and not just one. I'm just going to throw that out there. And that case had sold multiple times too. It sold on eBay.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And like the Poke Beach article was like, look, like obviously the investors of Pokemon didn't think it was real because it only sold for, I think it was like $75,000.
Yeah,
like that.
I mean, like, I didn't like that argument. Like, it was a very good article. Read the article. I didn't love that argument, but it was a very good article.
I agree. Okay,
all right.
Moving on.
Let's go.
Oh, do you want to talk about the big sale from the Pokemon distributor? The massive.
Mick doesn't even know anymore.
I don't know anything.
This is the loop. This is Mitch.
Well, this is the interesting thing. I still have a thing. I still buy Pokemon from them, but my guy didn't pull me in.
You're not missing anything.
One of the distributors was like, "Hey, you know what's really good? I'm gonna dump pallets of old Pokemon to you at TCG minus 5%. I got so many texts me like, "What are you ordering?" I'm like, "The middle finger. Tell them to go pound sand. I'm done. I'm not taking any of this."
The list of
stuff, it's so ridiculous.
The list of stuff was so big I didn't even look at it.
It's like, do you want shiny fates? Do you want hidden fates? Do you want all these things? It's just like, why is this in your warehouse?
Why do you have it? Yes.
It's
clowns.
Crazy. Yeah. I don't know that it's like, the question is the volume of it. Like that's the
I
question.
will agree that I don't know how much there is, but like, listen, I will bet you they have a lot of like shining fates. I heard they have very few hidden fates. They have some shining fates. Shining fates didn't sell real well.
They should have just scaled it out. Like, hey, we'll start at 5% if you grab a case, but if you grab a pallet, you'll get 15%. Even then, though, they should have just sold it instead of holding on to it.
They should
just been a distributor and distributed product.
Distribute their product.
Man,
I won't tell you who it is or how they treat Fab. I'll leave it up to the imagination of if it's the same distributor or not.
It's very similar. I bet you we could have called that distributor at the beginning of the year and said, hey, do you have any Monarch First? And they go, no, we don't have any more of that. Surprise.
All right, let's talk about Genesis.
All right.
So Joey from Decks and Drafts.
Drafts.
Drafts. I can't say that word. He made fun of me.
Droughts.
Droughts.
Yeah.
Draft, whatever. Decks and beer. He did a fantastic interview with Genesis with Sid from Genesis.
What product did you get?
As well as the person who creates Zoo Tiles.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Which is a game that I've had to test, and me and my wife have played a bunch of times. I just haven't had time with her to do a video. But anyway, and in the interview, they had this really great minute clip where Sid said he was talking about Scheming Skeleton, actually Jordan's channel.
The goat,
and how
Bone
Jordan
Zone.
posted a really critical review and so did Decks and Drafts.
Draft.
Decks.
It's DRAFTS is how you pronounce it. It's a draft.
That West Virginia.
I know. It's because I'm pretty sure it's English. It's from the UK, but it's fine. Just go ahead.
Somebody in last week's
That's
video.
not real English. Continue.
Somebody in last week's comment section said that West Virginia West Virginia education really hurting Louis. I didn't. I went to school in Ohio. So, anyway, in the interview, they talked about Assad said talked about how Scheming Skeleton did a really negative, review of one of his products, and how he loved that negativity and that accountability because then he was able to. No, go ahead, George. Go ahead, interrupt.
It wasn't negativity.
It was
This is something we've got to work on.
Critique.
This was
critique.
This was a legitimate critique.
Yeah.
He didn't go Assad.
It's not negativity.
Probably hate everybody. He said there's a problem with the print. There's a problem with the printing. That's not being negative. That's being honest.
Yeah.
Continue, Louis.
Honest review and honest feedback from somebody who loves the game,
loves Genesis,
wants it to be better, so holds it accountable. Not just a yes man who just says 100%. This is what I like. The game's amazing. It's going to the moon. Everybody should buy all the blah blah blah. Somebody who wants to see the game improve so it can be the best version of the game. Anyway, Sid was basically like, look, we love this. Like, I love that relationship with the YouTube channel. I love that they are being critical. I love that there's healthy feedback because that allows us to make the game better. He's like,
do you know why Assad said that?
Why?
Because he's an adult. Because he's an adult.
Well, and he values the growth of the game. It cannot grow without valuable critiques.
On my what change do I want to see from the Fab community? I have told everybody. Louis, you were on the call with me with this and Assad, and what did I tell him? I told him listen, man, the print quality for J2 is simply unacceptable.
It's brutal.
I won't do it. Like I can't carry Origins if it's on the same paper quality. And guess what he didn't say? How come George hates me? How come George hates my game?
How come he wants it to fail?
Yep.
He said okay, I've heard that. We've got to fix that. And you know why? He's an adult and a businessman.
Yeah.
When I said, hey, the spell book or Nightfall don't seem to be collated very well, Mike didn't text me and go, oh, George, I thought we were buddies. How come you don't like me? What did I do to offend you?
Yeah.
He said, yeah, you're right. It's not acceptable, and we're going to fix it with Wilderness. And I thought it was fixed, and it wasn't, and we're going to fix it next time.
They definitely fixed it with CN2 because I opened up a bunch of boxes last night and did not get as many full hollows as I wanted.
My boxes were stacked. Mike hates you. Mike loves me. Thanks, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, how Assad handled that is exactly how I would expect a CEO to handle it.
So I come from a design background. You all may or may not know this. And when I was in school, we would go every week, we would do work and present it to the class and get critique. And our teacher was often like, people were kind of soft and he would get feedback and they're like, why do you hate him? He's like, I just want you to do better. Like, I just want this to be better. If you work on these things that I'm commenting on, you will have a better end product that reaches more audiences, that, impacts people differently. So yeah, I think when your customer base is coming with valuable critique and feedback, it leads to a greater outcome for that game and a greater, it's just standard practice.
It is. I'll be honest. That has been,
and that's all we've ever done with Fab is provide critiques.
I don't care about that. Like, this has been the weirdest part of the TCG community to me.
Yes,
because I come from a
consulting
background. We're like, I get paid way too.
That's all you do.
I get paid way too much to tell you what you're doing wrong.
Yeah.
If they're like, hey George, I need you to come in, I'm like, everything's great, God bless. They'd be like, so did you cash that check or
can I get a refund?
Where, like, is this like a discount? Like, they would think I didn't do my job.
Yep.
But with the TCG community, if you're like, hey, the paper is a little thin, people, oh my God, George now hates this game and he hates the designer and he hates the designer's mother. And I am sure he is secretly rooting for an asteroid to hit their house. I'm like, wait, I said the print quality wasn't up to snuff. Where did I say anything about the game design?
Yeah.
That's what? And it seems so weirdly pervasive in the TCG community. And I honestly don't get it.
I can tell you from a content creator perspective, that interview and the transparency and the desire to see feedback and the way, I've said some things when I did my box opening for Genesis. I mentioned some stuff and, Sid reached out to me and said, blah, blah. I've said some stuff about Metazoo and Mike has said it with me. I've been talking to the guy for Zoo Tiles and I said, I don't like some of the artwork. I just think it's kind of whatever. And he's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. Like, there's been a lot. We're not going to get into it, but my point is, it makes me excited to make content for games where
that's the important point.
Where the creators care about the game enough to receive criticism.
I have now learned to play Metazoo and Genesis in a fraction of the time I learned other games because I love the designers and I think they treat me with respect.
Yeah.
And I think that is what you're trying to say in a very coded way, which I don't really understand the code. I left my Morse code Captain Planet watch at home today. But listen, why do I somebody asked me what do you think about Cryptid Nation 2 dumping in price? I'm like, chill the hell out. It's been a week and you trust Mike or you don't.
Yeah.
And that's the answer. Do you think Metazoo is going to Metazoo is going to be fine, or do you not? If it's going to be fine, shut up.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think it makes me excited to make content for their game. It makes me excited to be a part of their community. It makes me excited to just
buy mix all in on Genesis. I will tell you this: that is the exact response I expected Assad to have.
Yep.
And it's the exact right response.
Right.
Because the only way to make sure your company fails is to not listen to criticism and surround yourself with people who tell you everything you're doing is always right. Because then you're never going to improve and others will. So you're going to be left in the dust.
Publishers receiving critiques, designers receiving critiques tells me that my opinion matters. It also is the hardest thing, receiving a ton of critique. It's their job to distill that down and really provide what's going to provide the biggest impact to the game and to the players. And so that's all that should be a part of this cycle of, provide, have critique come in, see who's critiquing what and the valuable input. You'll hear, they probably heard the print quality thing from, everybody thought Genesis had horrible, JLT had horrible print quality.
Yeah.
And it's just how businesses work. You always are taking,
Assad's
you have to delegate. Yeah.
I have now probably had 20 calls with Assad, maybe more, probably a little more now.
Yeah.
I've left every one of them with a positive impression of Assad, that he's very competent, he's very smart, he's very dedicated, and his game will succeed.
Yeah. And he's growth mindset. He wants to grow the game to for players to play it. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
I actually told him I hope the game doesn't blow up too fast because that can actually be really inhibiting and hard to
Everyone needs
manage.
to go watch that interview with decks and drafts. Everyone needs to go watch.
Just think there's an FTS instead of a U or a whatever it is.
It's fine.
GHTS.
It'll be right below my crypto.com referral link below. I get $25 and something, I think.
The whole me not being able to pronounce things is a scam. It gets people to comment on the video and tell me how to pronounce things. It generates the algorithm. Make sure you like the video too, because then the algorithm is multiplied. If you didn't know that, if you like and comment, it counts as 4 things, not just 2. It's crazy.
I don't really care if you like or comment, I'll be honest. All right, so here is the next
content.
Yeah, because I really like the amount of care I do not have is like astonishing.
All right, Metazoo minute.
All right, let me start. I want to say let's go 3 topics. I want to talk about Crypto Nation 2.
Yep.
I want to talk about the new marketing director, who was amazing. Great hire, really great hire.
I watched a bunch of videos too.
And I want to talk.
I've never watched them.
Cool. Let me just say this in Crypto Nation 2 is like the set selling 2 things. First, it is a blast to open. I've had a lot of fun opening it. It feels great. The packs feel great. The cards feel great. Like it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
So much easier to open than Crypto Nation 1.
Crypto Nation 1 was the worst packs I've ever seen in my life.
No, that's not true.
No, they were just sealed. Yeah.
It's like really hard to tear tinfoil.
It's funny though. It's like the improvingness, the level of improvement, the direction of that the company has improved since Kickstarter with their packs is good.
It's amazing.
And the cards design has gotten incrementally better too.
My buddy Robbie came over last night and we played Legions, which is this new game that I'm trying out. And we cracked a box of Legions, and then
another new one.
We cracked 6 boxes of CN2. And at one point we had opened 3, and I was like, Robbie, do you want to keep opening? He's like, yeah, opening these packs is so much fun. I was like, what do you mean?
It
He's
is.
like, not the cards. The cards are great. He's like, the cards are great. The same cards as CN1. But like just the way that the pack rips feels really fun.
My wife
it's valid actually
doing Pokemon. Like it is just like, and so like
interesting.
It is selling very well for my store. Like I think we're gonna sell out, and we got a lot of boxes. Like we are gonna sell.
If you need more boxes, let me know, George.
You can't sell your boxes? Oh, you don't have a store.
I don't have a store like you do and players like you do.
There you go.
Online retailer life is hard, dude.
Oh yeah, that's why all the LGSs are taking over, because the online business is so hard.
CN2 has a bunch of competition online for sure.
So
it does. That's more what I'm saying. Thank you though.
It's hard to compete in a free market. So the like CN2 selling very well. People love it, and I'll say this: like it is exactly what I think we needed. Because like, did you all watch that stream of the gameplay?
I had kids screaming and yelling during it, but I watched like 20 minutes.
Same. I saw you.
It was.
I thought you were loving it.
I loved it. It was super.
That's what got me into it.
Like there was like I was watching it, and this guy was like building up a bomb, and then like boom, it was a counter spell, and like you could like feel the momentum in the room shift.
Yeah.
And like it was really, really, really engaging to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like they had like it was like it went to tiebreaker. I mean, like all these games were close. They were well balanced decks. It was really fun.
So
go ahead,
Louis, you remember when you and I did that How to Learn event, and we learned really poorly together, but we played nonetheless.
The entire first game completely wrong.
That was not as
correct.
Much fun to watch.
Well, no, but hear me out. So I like left as somebody who was playing it was fine, despite everybody's commentary and how poorly I did. Like it's fine. I know Louis is used to that. But then I kind of transitioned over to the Discord, and they were playing a game live.
Yeah.
And to your point, and this was months ago, and this is why I went all in. It's extremely engaging to watch a built deck, a constructed deck, and to watch people know, like, who are playing the game, who know what they're doing. And this is CN1, right? And to watch them go back and forth. One guy was playing a lightning deck. Another, I can't remember what the other guy was playing, but it was super interesting. And I was like, okay. And I messaged Mike that night. I go, I'm all in. I was like, I just watched the most engaging game. The gameplay is great. It's so much fun to watch. And to your point, like there's just like this momentum to shift back and forth. I mean, it's what makes Fab kind of fun too, to some extent, is that momentum shifts constantly.
So here's, like, and it's very funny you say that, because I thought of Sam Black's critique of Fab a little while ago, when he was like, the problem that Fab will have is it's not as fun to watch because the gameplay state is not as easily viewable as like Magic or Metazoo.
Mm-hmm.
And I did sense that, I'll be honest. It's just like, I can look at the board and see how somebody is doing to some degree of certainty.
Yeah,
sure.
And I like that as a viewer. Now, I'll agree, as a player, I probably don't like that as much.
Right.
Yeah.
But as a viewer, as a spectator, I enjoy that.
It's definitely interesting. It's also super interesting that they're utilizing TTS for their official sanction stuff. I think it's a really great, if it can be done right, I think it's a really great way to do it, because you can see the cards easily.
Can't cheat.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of dynamics. There's a lot of dynamics to any online play like that, like the top-down cameras. You can cheat. Like, there's a lot of things. So I really like that. The interview I did with the guy who won, to me, what are you rolling?
Pump up some content. Go ahead.
Yeah, baby. I got to get to 1 million views.
Will you put my crypto.com referral link in that one as well?
Listen, once we're at 1 million views, I just won't care anymore. So then I won't ever.
You're going to start dressing like me.
I did it.
The hat turned around. It'll be this big, like, aha moment.
I will still care. Anyway, I will still care way too much. Anyway.
That's true. That's actually, that part is actually true. And it makes George want to punch walls.
Yeah, I care way too much. Anyway. The point I was going to say is that when he was talking about the Dallas, there's a bubble in Dallas of people who are meeting together to deck build and to create and to be excited about that. I was like, oh, the dynamic in Metazoo, I feel like it's going to shift now. Like it's if more people enter, we saw this in Flesh and Blood, right? Where when I got involved with Flesh and Blood, it was really just about collecting the cards. And like, I think Metazoo is always going to be a collection. Like, I think there's always going to be a sense that like it's a collector thing. Like, that's always going to be a sense. But if we see a push towards gameplay, I think it's going to be a really interesting dynamic in the Metazoo community as you start seeing some of those people actually hop in and play. And the key here for me, I think, is asking the question: is it fun to play? Because a lot of people are like, the competitive, you can't have a competitive scene. I don't actually care about the competitive scene. I just want to know, for people to pick up a game and play with their wife or with their kids or with their family or at the LGS to run a Friday Night Magic type event.
Right.
Is it fun to play? And to me, that's the success. Kitchen Table TCG, I don't care about competitive. What I'm caring about is the natural fun side of things. So,
are you ready for this? Now that Mickey's gone, I can tell you all the secret.
Yeah.
I owe Mike an apology.
Oh, yeah?
I told stores it was going to be like Pokemon.
Yeah.
This will not be like Pokemon.
Hot takes from George.
I'm serious. Metazoo has done very well in my store as a player base. I don't have a lot of players of Pokemon.
Yeah.
I have a lot of collectors of Pokemon, but I don't have a lot of players, and I don't think many stores do either.
Do you think that's because... Sorry.
This game is legitimately good.
Yeah.
It's legitimately good. It's legitimately fun. And it's very easy. I got into it with the store a couple days ago. I think it was on Facebook, because that's where all the good dialogue lives. And they were like, I'm having problems selling CN2. And I said, then you failed as a store.
Yeah.
Then you didn't grow your player base. And I say the same thing to those that are like, I can't sell unlimited, except for Tails, because I still have Tails first. But like, if you can't sell Monarch Unlimited, you didn't grow your player base very well.
Yeah.
If you can't sell Cryptid Nation 2, you took free tendies and didn't invest in your community.
Yep.
And you deserve to not have CN2 sell very well.
Well,
I'm serious. Like, if you're not going to invest in these games, don't carry them. I don't carry many games because I can't carry many games well. I carry a lot of games. I don't carry Weiss in any meaningful way. I don't carry Yu-Gi-Oh. I don't carry Dragon Ball. I don't carry all these.
You don't carry Yu-Gi-Oh at all, huh?
No. Have you seen it?
You know why?
I almost made you edit something. A lot.
You know why he can't carry all those, right?
Yu-Gi-Oh. Why?
You know why? Because you're so busy carrying this podcast, you can't carry all those other TCGs too.
Truth. I mean, like,
So go ahead.
Like,
I'd give
I
it to him.
care about Metazoo, Genesis, and Fab.
Yeah.
Those are the games that I have dedicated my store to. If I take on a fourth game that I have to care about, I have to take that seriously, and that's a responsibility. And I mean this. Like, that's a responsibility on me.
There's only so many nights to host events. I'm getting into this. I'm trying to do the same thing. I'm trying to have the Discord server like actually have events for, like, we're gonna have Tuesday nights are gonna be a Metazoo night. And someone's running the events. It's gonna be great. We're trying to work
50 Metazoo tournaments at my store.
We're trying to do the same for Genesis. We're gonna try to have and there's only so many nights, and that's the issue. Like you can't have like something.
You can't have something every night. It doesn't really work out that way. I will also say this is what makes an LGS successful, I would argue, is not taking on everything. It is doing a few games really well. It's honestly why I love Team Covenant, because they had like a few handful of games that they really supported, and they supported them really well through content, but also in the store. And the people in store knew the games really well too, so they were able to teach them to new players. And I think to both of y'all's points, I think that's what makes you, or will make you, more successful, is the fact that you know that limit, and you know that we'll do this and we're going to do it really well.
Look, I don't have a limit. I want that to be known.
You have a limit though in games that you're actually going to support on a deep level. Yes, you might explore something new, and that's just part of your role.
As a content creator, I want to have an attitude of like,
he'll chase the buck.
No. I like looking at Zoo Tiles. Like, somebody invested their time into creating this game, and like I have a group of humans who care about TCGs, care about collectibles, and care about games. And like, as a content creator, I think it's fun to show them something else to say. Would you be interested in this? And we owe it as a community, as a TCG community, to give eyes to people who create other things, because this is why that interview was so good, because the new games are what are pushing the market. The new games are what, if a new game comes out that's really good, look at Fab, it's going to push Magic the Gathering to do better things. It's going to push them to be better and more intentional, and competition is good. And not that my channel will have any effect on that, but in our community, like, just that's,
don't worry though, you're almost going to be successful. How could you not?
I am the reason that the whole market collapsed.
I like how you're both a failure and the reason that everything died.
Yeah.
You're Thanos.
George, I'm curious on your opinion. Do you think that your success as, like, with Metazoo and your store and the player base, and the reason that people are excited about playing it is because it's so similar and so easy to pick up compared to like Magic? Because there is a lot of it is the same resource that's done.
There's a lot of
So it's very funny whenever like somebody brings up Fab to me, like how they're like, in a little bit arrogant way, I'll be honest. In a way that I'm like, simmer down. We're all playing with cardboard as grown adults. Let's take a breather here, boss. But they're like, the land or aura system is completely outdated. I'm like, yeah, I'm sure Mark Rosewater cries on his bed of money every night as he sells more boxes than you'll ever see. Yeah. That like it's an outdated system. I mean, like, people still like the land system because it's very intuitive. It's easy to teach and easy to understand. And I'll tell you this, I've had no problem with people learning Metazoo because they understand the basic mechanics of Magic.
Yeah. The only difficult part for learning Metazoo is that they changed all the names of things to different things. So you have to have a cheat sheet. And I'm doing a learn to play video, and I'm literally going to have like a downloadable cheat sheet where it's like, print this out or put it on your phone, because you're going to need it when you're first learning. But I think going to your point about like outdated
antiquities.
Antiquated is what you're looking for. But continue.
Antiquated.
Going to your point about that, the system is outdated. I agree. But here's the thing. The system is easy. It's an accessible way to play and to enjoy something.
It's only antiquated if you think true random is antiquated. Right. There are bad hands, and that does not mean it's a bad game.
Right.
That just means it's a system that allows for true random.
Yeah. And so here's my thing. Like, Fab is a better game. It's 100%. It is a better game than Magic. It's a more efficient. It's a more streamlined. It's a less randomized. It's a more competitive game. That does not mean that other games that go on the system aren't also successful, because the
Or good
player
games.
base, the player base is easier to get into because the decision making is easier.
I would say that Fab is less random.
Yeah, for sure.
I think there's more choices in Fab.
Yep.
Yeah, that's actually what makes it such a challenging and fun game.
But I'll leave it at that.
My point here is that the gameplay teaches you how to play, and that's great for new players. It's great for a wider audience style game, and that's my point. I think that's why you're going to see success in it. But,
all right,
cool.
All right, the GOAT with the GOAT hire.
Oh yeah. This is cool.
He hired a very, very, very successful YouTuber, almost as successful as Louis, almost has 1 million subscribers.
Listen, he almost has as many subscribers as I have almost views. So that's
right.
He'll get there one day. I'm sure he'll get there.
Can call him and give him some tips, Louis.
Someday he'll get there.
So you could absolutely call him and give him some tips. I would love to hear that.
Hey man, here's how to not hit 1 million views.
Here is why I'm here. Like, and people always ask me, like, George, like, you were all in very early on the zoo. Like, why? I'm like, because this is exactly the hire I would expect Mike to make.
Yeah.
This God, he's like young Louis. He might be younger than you.
I hope so. I'm old.
Well, I was listening to I was reading an article yesterday, and they were talking about mentors and how you should have mentors that are younger than you and older than you because of the new technology that's coming up. So you should have this kid as a mentor. He can teach you so many things about, the marketing landscape that you don't know about because of your old age. No, I'm talking about George.
Oh,
he's the old man on the podcast.
If he wants to mentor me about YouTube, I'm all for it. Like that.
Here is why I like this hire. This guy really knows new media, and he doesn't just say he knows it.
That's my point.
Yeah,
he knows it. He has grown. He has a proven track record that you can point to of successfully marketing himself, his channel, his product. He's a great YouTuber. He seems very passionate about Metazoo. He's very passionate about Pokemon. This is exactly the hire you would make if you're trying to grow your brand in a concrete way.
You know what he's passionate about?
What?
Pop culture.
Yes.
It's 100%. He is a pop culture influencer, somebody who is pop culture, whatever. For those of you guys who hate NFTs, he hates NFTs. He does.
I'm out. Mike, what'd you do?
There's things to like about him if you're against that. No, but
are you saying he will not use my crypto.com referral link?
He will not use your crypto.com referral link. He may use your crypto one. He won't use your.
Well,
NFT
he might use your crypto. He won't use your NFT referral. Yeah.
Here's where when I saw this is where instantly he does the commercial rating. Like his big thing is cursed commercials, where he watches commercials and then does funny things. This guy has probably watched more commercials than anybody in the entire universe. I want that guy making the commercials for my game. That's that's where my brain went.
Let me tell you why I love this hire. Is it's a serious hire.
Yeah.
This is not me going out. This is not going out and hiring a buddy.
Yeah.
This is going out and saying, who can I pick to grow my game?
Yeah.
He didn't just go through his Rolodex of people who had kissed his butt before.
Right.
He said I want somebody who can help me grow my game. Who will that be? And he found the right person.
Yep.
This is this goes back to the Assad comments. This is exactly the hire I would expect from a CEO.
Yep.
This is serious stuff. And that is what drives me crazy sometimes with these, with the nonsense online is this is a multi-billion-dollar business.
Yep.
You've got to either treat it like such or others will.
Yep.
And Mike is.
Yep.
So speaking of new hires, did you see the newest hire they're looking for?
Yeah.
Head of video game.
Louis.
What?
That's you,
Louis
baby.
knows nothing. No, he knows nothing about video game
He
design.
doesn't have to be a coder. He can direct it.
This is the opposite
No,
of
but
what you
he
just
doesn't
said.
know
You're like,
anything about video
you're just
games.
Like, I want Mike to hire the best possible person. Then you
Not
do
his
that.
friends.
Hey, Mike, hire my friend. Hey, hire my
Let me
friend.
be very
Louis.
clear here. If he hires Louis, I'm out.
Yeah. I'm not,
He's like, I don't believe in myself either.
44 Kickstarter boxes for
let
sale if
me-
he hires Louis.
let me
The
throw
market
out-
will tank.
let me throw out a dialogue that I had with somebody over the last couple of weeks. I actually think there was a conversation that was going on Discord. You know, just like I'm in the Wall Street Discord, I'm in a bunch of these other Discord channels, and I always like to speak my mind. And somebody was talking about that Metazoo has the best marketing.
Yep.
This was 3 or 4 weeks ago. I said, I'm sorry. I think they can do a lot better on marketing. And I got a bunch of heat because I said, I think they can do a lot better on marketing. I said, where's the advertisement? When I'm watching
Thank God he didn't hire your boomer self.
Listen,
Good Lord.
No, not TV ads. When I'm watching a Pokemon video on YouTube, why doesn't it pop up with a funny Metazoo commercial? When I'm on Facebook, I'm all about Metazoo, and I don't get targeted Metazoo.
Any Facebook ads, Instagram ads.
And
Yeah.
like the arguments people were saying were like, Louis, they're going to be in Walmart. That's really good. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, look, I'm not saying that I said I agree. They're doing better than
They're getting exposure.
They're doing better than most, but they can do better. I was like, I believe they can do better. And then Mike made this announcement. And I reached out to that guy. I was like, apparently Mike agreed with me, not with you, because Mike doesn't hate money. And I'm sure hiring this guy is not cheap. And he obviously saw that that he can do better. And I love it. I just love that, like, that he's intentional about that. And like, he hired somebody that I think is probably
He's great. He's
better. It's a better hire than Mike doing it, right? Like it's a better hire than, like, this guy will do it better. And somebody was like, but he's really young. He was like,
it's a really collaboration though. It's Mike has this vision that he also has this team that he's been collaborating with, and it's that bringing that person on the collaboration there that will compound it.
I have now, so I, as you all know this, I teach, and I'm actually in the middle of my class right now. Pray for me. I did this before my class, so my voice would sound terrible for them and not for you guys, by the way. That's true love.
Thank you.
I have now placed people on, like, some very big companies, very big campaigns. And let me tell you, the question they've never asked me is, how old is the person? First of all, it's illegal to ask that. But even if it wasn't, they wouldn't.
It actually is.
And here's why. I think I'm decent at marketing because I can tell you the theory of marketing.
Yeah.
You should absolutely not hire me for this position.
I agree.
Right.
Because I'm too dang old. I would be like,
I was just saying that.
Let's put an ad on the Metamucil mix I have to eat every morning now because I'm old. Like, I'm not your target market.
Yep.
This young man who's very brilliant who's brilliant. Let me be very clear here. You can be, Louis proves you can be young and stupid. This kid proves you can be young and smart. He knows who Captain Planet is. I guarantee it.
That's true. That is true.
This young man is brilliant and is a very good marketer.
Yeah.
I could not care less if he was 22 or 82. I care that he's the right person for the position.
Yep.
Sure.
I want, from a marketing director, I want young, dumb, and not dumb. I want adventurous. Like, I want somebody who's not
willing to take risk,
who's not callous, who's not so callous that they don't take risks and don't push. Mike needs to be the person who says no. This needs to be the person who presents ideas that Mike says no to until he presents an idea that says, yes, that's the one. That's who I want in somebody who's doing marketing. You will see, I really believe this. The Metazoo marketing campaign will be the most unique marketing campaign and in all of pop culture. Like, I just think
we got to get him on the podcast. We got to reach out to this guy.
Do it.
All right. We got to get him on. He will be a special guest in 2022.
Hopefully.
Logan Paul.
Wow.
Hopefully.
Same episode.
Same episode. I'll bump Logan Paul for you. I won't. He wouldn't want me to.
I'll bump Logan Paul.
You know who's going to get bumped? This guy will get bumped. That's what's going to happen. Sorry, Mitch. We don't have space anymore. We only have 4 slots. Logan Paul and Chad Tronic are on. You're off. Sorry, dude.
this is just more. We didn't need more, but this is just more proof that Mike is taking this serious and Mike is growing the business.
Yep.
Yeah.
I agree.
Mike's not here for 5 years. Mike's here for the long haul.
Well, we heard he has a 20-year plan, not a 5-year plan.
Yeah, like Mike wants little Monarch Louis kid to be playing Metazoo.
I also like that he didn't hire like a. He didn't hire.
Sorry, that one was good.
I like that he didn't hire like a TCG influencer or something like that.
Mm.
He hired because I really believe that I think Mike's following the Pokemon model. If you look at the Pokemon model, the TCG is such a minute little aspect of the overall IP, and like I think that somebody like like Chadtronic can figure that out, and he cares. He's not a TCG influencer. He's adept in that world. So I think
great hire by the GOAT. I expect nothing less.
Do we need to say any more?
No.
All right. Nightfall not getting a reprint in booster box form.
So Nightfall maybe not getting a reprint in booster box.
Yeah, I don't think it's explicit.
Yeah, I mean on the stream
yesterday.
Yeah, I was tired. He said this. Will there be any more print runs of Crypto Nation or a second edition, the final run? Was the question during their minute. He said final run. So that's final. Like,
wait. So this is all new to me. I was thinking I've been in class. So there's no more Cryptid Nation after these booster boxes?
No. Final run.
Okay. I will yell at you stores. If you can't sell the last run of Cryptid Nation that will ever happen, if you can't sell the last print run of the first set of Metazoo, you need to go to Amazon and look up a big fat mirror and start looking at it. Because like that is inexcusable. Continue.
Yeah. Okay, so the question was, to say it again, will there be any more print runs of Cryptid Nation, or is the second edition the final run? This is the answer from Metazoo. Final run. We are thinking for future second editions, we will make the print run exclusive to special products released in Walmart, Target, GameStop, etc. So
I want to stop you right there. This is why I love Mike.
Why?
Transparency.
I don't care about that's true. I care about that. I lied. I care about that a lot. But like, here's what he's telling you. I'm going to give the LGS, the local game store, the person that every one of these companies say they care about.
Yeah.
He's saying, I'm going to make sure that the local game store gets the most desirable product.
Yep. First edition.
I'm going to expand my influence by giving these big box stores
second edition
that like you guys don't want as much, and we all know it.
Yep.
Can you imagine what would happen if Fab said first edition is gem account only?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would be out of business.
You're already out of business. You can't say that anymore. You would
Did
go
you not see
further
my
out
wink?
of business? Okay. I guess it's a big loss.
I said I was sunsetting it. I did not say I'm officially out of business for Fab.
So, like,
I have hope that they can bring it back, maybe.
Right. So, like, Mick would maybe find a sunrise or not. I don't know. But, like,
maybe.
It would be, like, that would change the store's relationship with the game.
Right.
And that is what Mike is saying. Mike is saying, I'm done with these companies saying, like there's no bigger offender than Magic. I'm the favor of LGS. Let me dump pallets at Jeff Bezos' house and have them sell it at cost for me.
Right.
Sure.
Mike is saying, I'm going to give the local game store, again, the group that every single one of these card companies say they support. But I'm going to put that through with actions and show them that I want them to succeed. Mike, GOAT, continue.
So I think the key here is that the second edition. So the question is like, does this apply to Nightfall? And he says we are thinking for future second editions. That's an important note. But
I don't know. I agree with you. That's important, but that seems more like a hedge than anything. Like I suspect it's like pretty well decided. But that's just my guess.
Again, but it's not an official announcement.
I agree.
If this is the case, then Nightfall, and so I think what this looks like, you will see another print of Nightfall cards. Right. They will be in blisters. They'll be in. He already said tins and like that kind of thing.
Cool.
So the supply will still be a lot for local game store or for people who are interested in playing or whatever. But like you'll still be able to get the cards, and there'll be, I think 4,000 Walmarts. There's a lot of supply there. But the first edition product will be at LGS's, and that will support that. So like the initial reaction to people were like, wait, does that mean like we're not going to have the cards? I think we'll still see more cards, like way more than we currently have of Crypto Nation second edition. But it'll allow him to recycle that product and things that don't hurt LGS's because they can't sell it. They can't, the print run.
I have a word for that. Goat.
Yeah. I think it's cool. Definitely makes Nightfall, if it's true, Nightfall first
like you know what, it's funny, like you can see like the market, it's very funny. Do I want to get into this? Should I say it? Should I get into it or no?
I don't care.
We got a few minutes.
So like the number one fear that I had a bunch of sources tell me this is like, is this Metazoo's Monarch moment?
Yeah.
When the boxes of Nightfall cratered all the way down to 135%. 140% of MSRP, and the world was over, and Cryptid Nation 2 went to the more profit margin for a store than every Magic box, every Fab box, every Pokemon box times 2, and they were like, "Oh my God, is this something terrible?" I'm like, "What?" Like, and I
what are you doing?
Asked, what am I missing? Like, what am I missing? If I made the profit margin that I make on Cryptid Nation 2 at $110 a box, which it is in store,
yeah,
I on all the boxes I sell, me and Logan Paul would have houses next to each other in Puerto Rico. I could actually help you guys get on the program with him. Like
we'd be best friends. It'll be easy.
Like, this is
I
like,
think I just learned that Logan Paul is in Puerto Rico. Is that the thing?
He has a house there.
I just assumed he was in LA.
No, he is. He has a house in Puerto Rico as well.
Gotcha. Moving on. I haven't gotten invited yet, so
like,
I don't know.
I don't know you that well, but like, whatever. I'm sure you're. I know that. I know, like, I'm on your team versus the Island Boys because similar to them, I'm thugging, but like not as much as they are apparently.
I still haven't watched that interview.
You know I'm thugging, right?
I don't know what that is. I still don't know what the Island Boys are.
Talk to.
Oh, jeez.
So like, I think that like, I don't get it. Like, now both boxes are going up as I expected them to. This happens every release. This was a normal release. Yeah. This was a remarkably healthy release. I felt really good about it.
You felt good about the market for it. You're talking about Nightfall or Into?
Both.
I feel good about the market for it.
I sold
last week you said it was not the great release.
No. I don't think. Well, let me walk this back. You're right. I think not releasing all the tertiary products with the box isn't great.
Yeah.
I don't love that.
Yeah.
But I think if you're looking at the boxes in a vacuum, which we have to because that's all we have right now.
Yeah.
Like, this is exactly right. And some people are like, "Oh my God, Mike is selling direct to consumers." I'm like, Pokemon's done that for a decade more. And like, he does that. He's not I would be furious at Mike. Mike would get called out on this podcast every week until he took it down. Yeah. If he sold online at $80 a box.
Yeah.
I would call him and tell him we are dropping it if this is not fixed.
Right.
He's selling it at MSRP.
Yeah.
Which we're supposed to be selling it anyway or below.
Right.
What you're not mentioning is the blue label boxes too for NFT holders.
And like, I know that listen.
No. That is you realize people spent $600, $700, $800 on an NFT to get access to that. As the utility of that is excellent.
Yeah.
As somebody who's an NFT holder, I was extremely pleased.
I don't like. I got a lot of.
I thought that was really cool.
Complaining about that, and
really.
Oh yeah.
It was like a few thousand boxes.
It's 4.5% of the print run. That's what I told them.
That's not nothing.
That's nothing.
That's nothing. Yeah.
And I told them that. I'm also like, listen, like, how many NFT holders are at your store right now? Like, I think I have 7 in my store, and I bet
that's a lot.
Far more than the average.
That's a lot, George.
I have far more than the average. That doesn't bother me. I don't care. Mike is selling at MSRP because he wants to keep prices at reasonable levels from flippers and scammers.
Even the NFT boxes weren't below what the market was selling for. It wasn't a competitive market sale.
I don't.
It was at the market price, actually.
Yeah, I think this is a great.
It was still more. I think boxes were at like $90 that day.
95.
Now they're up like $100, $105 again, which is great. I think like
I
I think this is a great release. I'm excited for CN2. Mike is GOAT. Continue.
As a store, I want to have boxes on the shelf, and as an online retailer, I don't even like right now. Metazoo's in my other games because I can never have product. And you say this about Fab all the time, George.
Yep.
Like I want to have product on the website at prices for permanent. Like I don't want to always be sold out instantly because I want traction on the website. I want people to know that I don't want people to have to buy 50
You don't want to blip on the radar.
I hate that consumers have to buy 50 boxes at a time and take that huge gamble. I want them to be able to kind of, buy 1 or 2 a month and get the product and whatever. Like I think there's wins there. So
I like what they can do. Great release.
All right. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it, everyone.
All righty.
Another fantastic episode of
You're
people
welcome.
wasting their time watching us. Everyone, hope you guys have a fantastic day. Remember to be kind to the people around you, and may the zoo be with you.
And also with you. And enjoy Ruby, Nick. That's nice.
I will. Thank you. You enjoy your Ruby too.
The original. The real Ruby.
I mean, I guarantee you there was a Ruby before your Ruby.
Thank you.